It gives you some team fight, which they were needing in game one. Not the stun setup, but the Revenge and Monkey King have that currently at the moment. We'll see Execration with what they're looking to go for. Potential Bob plus support, or just the Tino plus the RR lane. Banned out a lot of position ones though.
I don't hate the Venge and the Monkey King together either, right? Like, it's just
No, that's
so
strong,
much
yeah.
setup, especially early against a Lycan, right? Like, Lycans, I feel like you need to rush level 2 as quickly as possible on SMG, and then punish the Lycan before he gets that Helm of Iron Will for that extra little bit of survivability. And, you know, if you're able to get Boundless Strike, Jingu, Magic Missile, Wave of Terror, you can pretty easily kill the Lycan and get the lane going in your way damn early.
Trying to see what they pick for Tino. I mean, they Tiny and Sven gone. Some of the better ways with the AoE damage. They'll pick up the Gyrocopter here. Some flex. I hate saying it because I feel the Gyro 5 is very strong, but there's flex. You can play it, of course, in that role. But I think more than likely the Tino here. We've seen Gyro still picked up a decent amount, even though with a lot of the changes to the stacks. How do you feel like the matchup is though overall versus the Monkey?
Remaining.
It's weird, right? Like, the benefit is that you're most likely not going to be like right in there in the thick of things as a gyrocopter, especially if it's a position 1. We've seen, of course, the stats build as opposed to the rocket barrage. So he just wants to be right clicking. He wants to be playing around that flat cannon as much as possible. And the benefit of that is, you know, you don't need to fight into this Wukong's command. So he's going to be able to run away a lot of the time. You've even got a talent for movement speed. Granted, it's at level 20. So I feel like it's not awful, but you are still able to get a few jaunts off as well with the use of the Mischief to be able to dodge out that flat cannon when it does come to like a one-to-one matchup.
Do you feel like though it's a bit of an issue that they have 2 melee supports into the Monkey King? Like I feel like your Wukong's just gives you so much control in fights now.
5 seconds.
I do too. One other issue that I'm having is the Ogre Magi, of course. It's great at just being that solid body at the front of particularly the laning stage. So it's going to be doing a good job at that. But you also have to consider the fact that I feel like Ogre's strongest when you can get level 7 pretty early, max out Ignite, and it just does so much damage in these team fights, especially if you're able to get a Veil on top of it. But nothing else on the team really synergizes with Veil, which means that the value of picking that up decreases pretty damn significantly.
All right, so it's got to be said about KP quite often being given the Elder Titan. Can we see any reason for him to play it this game?
Oh, I mean, we've seen SMG play it in both Afu, Rogi, and KP's roles, right? So they're keeping it a little bit flex. We've seen the Brewmaster tossed around to a few different roles. I feel like this is an Elder Titan 5. You know, you're just going to be trying to bully out of the lane. You're going up against a Lycan, so there's going to be multiple units in the lane, a decent amount. Again, you're against dual melee supports, so it doesn't matter really where you're looking to run it. You're always going to get some pretty decent value out of the right clicks there with the Astral Spirit.
There's a lot of KP heroes at the moment. Unfortunately, you can only play one of them. It's like, come on, guys, why do you have to pick all 3 that I want to play? But we're looking for position 2s from either team. Bob, along with Moons here, once again, left to last.
My man's got micro. Although, have you seen, like, I can't remember the most recent one that I saw, but I remember seeing, like, at TI9 SEA qualifiers where Mineski ended up qualifying through, and it showed the reactions of everyone. KP was basically like trashing the place, throwing everything everywhere, slamming on the desk. And I saw that he plays with like Dota windowed, so it's like a smaller version, even if it's on some gigantic monitor, which I'm not sure if there are any other pros that do that.
Doesn't he play stretched as well or something? Lower, I know on his stream, yeah. Interesting. Us Aussies. What can we say? All right.
It's upside down.
Yeah. Well, we're casting on the roof at the moment. It's not as hard as what people imagine it would be.
Void incarnate.
This gives them another way to start fights with the Void Spirit because they really had the Earthshaker blink. So the other way to go in, disrupt. Aghanim's has got a lot of value this game. It's going to be into the Ember. And
Now select
I
your
saw mid one
heroes.
have a very solid performance. We'll see how Moon can fare on the Spirit.
Talking about in the draft of game 1, though, and it is a Brew 5. So, oh, actually, yeah, KP is going to be playing the Venture. Not really how I saw these lanes going at all, actually. I was feeling much more confident with the Elder Titan laning into the Shaker and the Lycan, but I guess they're feeling a little bit different here
That is a
on
dope
SMG.
Lycan set. Hang on, what? Look at my
Ooh,
man.
that is pretty good, actually. Yeah. Well, you'll be able to see it in game chat. Get ready, get hyped. There's a lot of good sets across the board. Void Spirit, though, come on, Valve, give him a little bit of love. He's looked the same for a while. His base set's pretty cool, but give him something a little bit different.
Oh, the new one that came out is very cool. I'm a huge fan. Shame it's...
Yeah, but wasn't that like ultra rare or whatever?
Yeah, it was, not easy to get in the Immortal. The hidden vector, though, oof, it looks clean. All right, how are we feeling about this one? Can Execration pull it out with a stand-in and take the 2-0, or are we going to go to a game 3?
I'm not a fan of how SMG are doing these lanes, just because I'm a very proud person and it's not what I was thinking was going to happen. But I do worry about how you're going to be playing these supports, like you mentioned, into the Monkey King, especially later on. And, we called it as soon as it was picked up. Yes, you've got the flexibility with the Monkey King, but this is like a mid one hero through and through. It always feels like he's going to get a crazy amount of farm with it. I feel like Moon's going to go into much more of like a hitter style of build, the Orb of Corrosion, going a little bit more into the damage side of things. Maybe still the Maelstrom, but wouldn't surprise me to see him go into crit, just to make sure that you are still maximizing the minus armor coming through from the Wave of Terror. Mid one's probably going to go into the Desolator on the Monkey King, and then you've also got the Elder Titan for the Natural Order once it gets to the later stages. So I feel like it's another one of these games where it's not an outdraft by either side, but it's just going to come down to the execution and maybe just one of these small errors costing one of the teams. So I feel like just because I feel like an error by Execration is going to cost them a lot more because of, what I just mentioned with Synergy coming through from SMG's draft, I'm going to go with SMG for this one.
30 seconds to battle.
Who is then the standout hero they have to be paying attention to on Execration? Like, how can they pull themselves ahead to make it? If they make that one mistake, then maybe they have another one left in the tank before this game gets really rough.
I mean, I think BDZ just needs to have another exceptional game. I'm sure they don't want a repeat of KP's performance on the Lycan, where it was a kind of late tower attempt, and there were a few times where he got caught out of place, not getting maximum value out of the shapeshift either. And of course, it is quite on Bob as well in that mid lane, just because, you're a Void Spirit, it's up against the Ember Spirit. But like we kind of mentioned in game number 1, like Moon, sure, he's Master Tier on his Ember Spirit, but it doesn't feel like he's played it in competitive for quite a while, so we'll see if he's a little rusty on the hero. Of course, he is a very skilled mechanical player, but, it's not like riding a bike. Sometimes you do forget some of the little intricacies.
I mean, Moon's going to want some revenge as well, considering how Bob performed in game 1 on the Lina. You've got the favorable matchup, Ember vs Void. Very, very Ember favored, considering you've got a crazy amount of magic damage in the Flame Guard, so you don't really worry about the Resonant Pulse. And as the game goes on, you can have a lot more mobility as well compared to the Void Spirit. Now, it can always go back and forth like a lot of the spirits, though. And in regards to their matchup, once Bob gets your Scepter, you've got at least an instant catch with the yours into Aether Remnant and the Aghanims. But at least laning wise, it should be pretty Ember. I'd say like 60-40.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Moon's already been able to get a couple of great denies off in the lane, and also something that we don't have to mention, he's not going up against a First Blood in the mid lane as well, so that's going to benefit him quite heavily. But he's already doing a great job.
Well, you were speaking about BDZ and how he can perform again on the Earthshaker. We were very impressed with his game 1 performance. We've been not too much a fan of this hero, but he's in a bit of BDZ,
he might be in a little bit of trouble here. Some body blocks coming through from Rogi. The Boundless will pick it up.
Mid one, beautifully done. And this is not an easy... This is a really difficult lane, in fact, for Execration. I do not see how you play this.
It's going to be pretty hard, and that they made that attempt as soon as Rogi hit up to level 2 as well, just wanting that slow coming through from the Thunderclap. Cinderbrew synergizes together perfectly with a Monkey King. And, hold on. Midward started with a Gloves of Haste. Surely not a Naked Bite.
I've seen him do this before in the Monkey. I think we saw him do it at least in the groups.
Just wanting those Jingu stacks picked up as quickly as possible.
I might have been... Was he in a solo matchup? I can't remember the matchup he was in, but yeah, we have seen him go for it very rarely. But against a hero where you can man fight super easy, like what's Blacking gonna do? It doesn't matter about the stats that you're missing through maybe like a Wraith Band or the Iron Branches. Just early on that Gloves of Hate's great to be able to trade. That was the other lane.
He's still... Well, Luciano, I just want to quickly mention he's doing a really good job just with his wolves to make sure he's blocking off all of these creep camps from spawning. He's also blocking off any kind of pull attempts that SMG were going for, so his micro is certainly on point after a good Mars performance in game number 1. Bot side, KP, I mean, they're going to be a lot more passive this time around for SMG. Again, this is a position 3 Vengeful Spirit, so you're going to need to create a lot of space for KP so that he can get that early ags. You know, the timing we're expecting is probably 16, 17 minutes at worst.
Do you feel like Radiant have a way to pressure the Vengeful Spirit early, or is he going to get away with this greed?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's all going to depend on Luciano, really. Like, are you going to get the value out of the shapeshifts? Is BDZ going to get in position? Because, again, you're kind of in the similar sort of boat to the Venge, right? You need your Blink Dagger to have a massive impact in a lot of these early on engagements.
KP will have to eat a little bit of harassment down bot. We see what the Ogre can do super early on. He's actually going to have another round of the Ignite in a couple of seconds. KP might just be solo killed. Ooh, that was way too close for comfort.
I'm telling you, man, Ignite is a crazy amount of damage super early on. Combine that with the Orb of Venom, no one's running away from that.
Just the mana cost as well. It's a minor thing, but very nice considering it's something that a lot of Ogres were maxing out regardless. Mid one's in trouble though. BDC hasn't blocked him out just yet. So this TP from RR, it's still at least going to secure initial stun, and now he's got enough mana for the Ignite. So mid one, getting a little bit too overzealous, and will be penalized with the TP from the twin-headed man.
Even able to prevent the death on Bob there in the mid lane. Of course, he's got the Dissimulate, so it's a lot easier for him to get away. But yeah, as soon as Rogi showed in that mid lane, they were like, great, make this rotation up top, punish mid one, because again, we like to see him get a little bit greedy. That time it ended up costing him.
At least it's, yeah, any kill we can see the Earthshaker involved in is super important. Just a little bit
on the bot side though. Be a little bit careful here. He's got the TP available, running a little bit low. Oh, he can just TP now though. Thought that Echo Stomp was perhaps a little bit early. They might get turned around upon now with BDZ making the rotation down to the bot side. This will be an easy way to shut him down.
Yeah, they got Ogre also coming from the western line. It's a little bit slower here. Is KP gonna opt to the dive? At least get the proc. Tino will hold the life thanks to the raindrops. Now back onto Rogi. Not able to disrupt him with the Echo Stomp, and still, it looks like they're actually trying to dive Tino under the tower. Afu, can he get the last punch with the one hit? No, it's not enough. The one charge just keeps Tino healthy. And they turn it back around, and oh, look at the supports as well. Self, Tango. Thank you, boys.
Done again by Execration. They're really, I'm really impressed by a lot of this team fight cohesion, especially when it's with someone like Luciano that, again, you know, haven't played with super recently. But, you know, the connection, you would be surprised to hear that sort of fact. RR as well. I like this build. A lot of people like to choose to skip the Bloodlust entirely, but I feel like just one value point at level 4 is going to do so much for your team.
Okay, that's a big kill to find. Bob, great rotation. They are getting smoked on down bottom. They want Tino. But he's out.
Oh no, it was a long TP.
It must have been because Bob TP'd. Yeah, Bob doesn't have a TP. It was because I think the gyro went top. Oh no, he's going to get as many creeps as he can, but Tino will end up falling. Oh.
Tip him back. I mean, that would have been disastrous, right? Because if they make that heavy rotation bot, he's able to escape top. Mid one had to come top, right? Because Luciano, he had a siege creep there. He was level 6 as well, so someone needed to protect this top tower. So the fact that they're able to get the kill is a huge let-off for SMG.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And now this
mid lane.
Alright, another kill that they should be able to pick up here. It's furthering how Bob has been able to start this game 2-0, and they're also looking for a trade on the tier 1 tower. They've already popped their glyph. The TP's a little bit lacking. And also the numbers as well. This is a huge tower if they give it up. And they might just do so.
Probably will. I mean, you've got this TP coming in from Rogi, but it's going to be a little late.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Wow, that's a big tower to find.
Yeah, and Afu even made the right choice with TPing through to the tier 2 tower, so that if any of the cores actually wanted to choose to respond, it would have been that quick tower, not the same mistake that the gyrocopter had in TPing up towards the top tower.
Dire are scanning.
I mean, this now just opens up the map that much more for Execration. It's...
And Lycan wasn't part of that. That's the other big bonus, right? Like, supports essentially took that tower.
Oh, they're also going to take the top side of the map. So this is a lot of early real estate that Execration have been able to find. Take a look. SMG, however, looking to try and hit back around the mid side of the map. A lot of priority on warding around the vicinity.
Decent little stack built up for Tino as well. He's going into the Chrysalis, so again, just really going all in on this early style of build. You know, it's up against a decent amount of armor that you're having to contend against. Of course, the Monkey King, the Ember Spirit, the Venge, all agi heroes, so they're going to be decently, you know, capable to deal with all that crit damage coming through. But the Elder Titan and the Brewmaster might be feeling a little bit more of it.
Bob. He was walking up past to try and steal the bounty. He saw the stack at the small camp meanwhile, and unfortunately, he didn't get enough time to reach the bounty. But as soon as he was evading the area, he's like, all right, if I can't get the bounty, I'm taking your stack, my guy. There's no chance you get in this one. Just a little bit angry there. He's like, all right, bounty, fine. Stack, good enough for me.
Now rekindled.
They're just staying top right now on Execration. They're saying, look, we've got this Lycan lineup. If you look to reveal anywhere, we're able to quickly shove this lane out. In the meantime, since no one's appearing on the map, BDZ, he's able to get a decent amount of farm out of here. So they've even spotted out that Moon was a little bit too far forward. Farming the camp actually ends up stacking for himself. I wonder if they'll try and snipe that afterwards.
Is under attack.
How is Venge looking at the moment? Decent net worth, in fact.
Yeah. Most of the time we see it, you know, by a decent amount, sitting on 6th on the net worth. So for KP to still be in 5th, he's already got that Blade of Alacrity coming out to him, which is going to accelerate his farm. I like it. You know, it didn't...
BDZ's in trouble. But the rest of Radiant, they've TP'd Bob down initially. Stu is snowed up as well, coming through the river. KP, he does compromise his position at the moment, but he's got backup. Rogi with the first use of the split of the game. Bob's a difficult task to kill off, but BDZ, that's much easier. Stuck in the tree line. He's still going to drop the Echo now. Even mid one getting involved as well early on the Monkey King. He'll lay down the Wukongs, but it looks like the rest of the team are evaporating at the moment. They've lost 2. A key component is Moon, but it doesn't seem to matter as mid one reigning supreme with the help of the supports. Even Tino wants to join the party. Drops the core down in top of the lane. They'll bring off Rogi. They're looking for Afu next as well. An Echo Stomp might just disrupt it. Mid one's going to be cautious how long he sticks around as well. The Remnant almost destroying the trees through the vicinity, but Bob picking up a killing spree to end it all.
Still sticking around in this lane. I thought maybe you might have been opting to go for that.
Oh, they're actually back in. Okay, Moon. After the respawn, but Radiant, they've got heroes nearby. So mid one, he's jumped down from his perch on the tree line, very close to the tier 1 tower, so here come the extra reinforcements. But this fight, just continues on as Bob's going to have to play around. He's got no ultimate charges. So they will finally deal with this as elusive Void Spirit. A bit of a killing streak for mid one to find.
Ballsy play there by mid one, just waiting for Moon to come right at the last second there. I was thinking, you know, maybe he just wanted to get max value out of the last Jingu stack that he had with the Boundless Strike. Didn't actually end up connecting with it, but still, to be able to get that turnaround to stop Bob from getting the insane snowball that he did in game number one is a big factor for them. Still though, Tino, he was able to survive through a lot of that. He got a good amount of damage as well with the call down, and being able to finish up that Chrysalis is just going to accelerate his farm even more.
It does feel like they're going to have a much more difficult time at dealing with the Ember Spirit this game. Like, you don't have the
massive chain lockdown.
Yes, the massive chain lock
from
that
range
they had
as well.
I mean, you're very reliant on BDZ finding, which is an incredible blink timing. He's got 1800 gold, and this is Trank soaring as well. So BDZ is love and life, and that is what you need. Blink from the Earthshaker, maybe follow up with the Void Spirit, but Bob's going Sunjin Kaya. Are you a fan of this?
It's not horrible, right? Like, it's going to be one of the few things that's able to protect you against the likes of the Echo Stomp. You know, you probably don't want to be popping the BKB for that. So anything that's just going to be able to, I mean, hell, even the Brewmaster, right?
Bottom lane. BDZ. He's got the Echo if he wants to lay it down. They're going to be careful if they split. I believe TPs were cancelled though by Moon. So the extra numbers will not join the Earthshaker, who was very, very close to that blink.
And we are seeing the sort of minus armor build that we were expecting, right? Orb of Corrosion now on Moon. You finished up the Desolator on the Monkey King. KP, he's maxed out the Wave of Terror, so it's so much to be able to deal with. I have to wonder why it was BDZ that made that defensive attempt and ended up dying, because of course it slowed down his great timing on the Blink Dagger a little bit. Earthshaker doesn't have any escape, and he's a lot less tanky than something like an Ogre Magi, who's even able to clear out waves from somewhat range with the use of the Ignite. I feel like where they're playing right now on Execration is really good, because, you know, you're going up against this lineup that wants to take towers, and SMG, just by nature, are a very aggressive team. So you know that probably their side of the map is the safest place to be, because they want to be on your side.
I think it would have been completely different if we didn't see those TPs interrupted by the Ember. Well,
true.
They will catch out Arfu throughout the river, so Bob, Kai complete at the moment, bottom lane. They're still looking to take this tier 2 tower. It's a very early tier 2 to find as well. BDZ has to be cautious. Even Bob coming through. Looking to try and trap SMG to the tree line, but maybe they've overcommitted into the Wukongs, but in fact, they're out on the outskirts here, and they're happy with looking for a reset. So I have to be a bit cautious. Running all the way around the big circle control at the moment means KP is in a compromised position. They can also catch out Roji before the TP. So SMG will lose 2 down bottom simultaneously. So they are getting some farm across the map, but are they important heroes though to be getting that farm is the question.
And definitely not on Afu when you compare it to the likes of KP, you know, giving up his life, delaying his Ag's timing. We were talking about a 17-minute timing, and he's definitely not going to be reaching that. It's looking more like being 19, and that's if he focuses entirely on farming himself.
And this is also the Blink Dagger completed on BDZ. So you're speaking about timings, the Earthshaker's at least found his, and it won't be the greatest reveal, but nonetheless, it will be a pick-off on Afu. Can they? I don't know if they can go into Roche with that. Dude, this lag is crazy. This set is awesome. I have to highlight again. It is very, very cool.
Breed of the Skullhound. Sounds like a Diatite set.
Sounds like Roche as well. I got the medallion on RR. A little bit of minus armor with the Howl. And I know Wukongs is on cooldown, which I feel like is a pretty key component to a choke point fight like that. But Execration, fearing a potential mistake to dissuade the lead they have and kind of bring SMG back into this.
They still have the Blink Echo though, and they're only 170 gold away from... Oh, I really want Tino to finish up his Ags. He's so damn close, and man.
They're close to the Helm of the Overlord too.
Close to the Helm of the Overlord. I mean, Shapeshift's off on cooldown.
This is hard. This is a hard kill. He's got Flame Guard as well. What a Boundless. protects him away from the fissure. Swap back's not enough. The AoE damage, but Moon, an instant buyback. The Ember looking to rejoin the fight. They blew everything on the first life, and they will not have anything afterwards. As Tino cycloned up in the air, now he's trapped. He'll attempt the TP, but instantly the answer is there from Roger's Brewlings. Execration. Gonna be too antsy here as they'll lose two. It does cost a pretty big buyback. Moon had to rejoin.
And even Luciano just pushing up onto the top side, but well, the fact that they were able to get away with that without losing Roche is actually a big thing. You know, when they were going for that attempt previously, I really liked it, you know, because you're going up again against this heavy minus armor lineup. So if you can take Roche away...
drop the Wukongs on the backline key straight on the heads of Luciano, and now KP as well will swing on forward. They're going to look to try and turn to RR, but Bob's back alive. He's looking to bring down mid one with all his bursts. It's not enough at the moment, mid one. Pretty survivable, but now BTS, what a jump in. Finds a stun on two, but the extra control is not there with the fissure still on cooldown. So do we give SMG an opportunity to get out to safety, or will it? The Centaur Conqueror stunning up both, but again, the follow-up is not there. They push back Bob to the outskirts, but the Void Spirit is absolutely unkillable at the moment without the control they've got on SMG. So having to still continue to fight further and further back to the river, which is not a spot that SMG want to take it. As they'll find three, they're looking to bring it into a fourth as well as the control is there in BDZ. Another Earthshaker performance like game one could just spell disaster for SMG.
That'll almost definitely enable them to take this Roche with the Ag Scepter freshly picked up. Just the balls on this man to just blink into two heroes with... They had tons of abilities on cooldown at that point. RR as well, I have to really commend for that. Just perfect spacing, making them commit that little bit extra when you had all the vision. You know, it's nighttime. You had the vision set up on your high ground. SMG had nothing, even making sure that that sentry was dropped to prevent any kind of information available for SMG. So the fact that they're able to turn that around, get the dieback kill onto mid one, and secure that into Roche is huge.
This is just further delaying the items that they need on SMG. Like Roger's, this is just a hope right now that he can get the items. I mean, that's all we really need on the Brewmaster, but but that was sitting in the net worth.
You were talking about position, game one being a bit greedy from them. I mean, it was greedy in their draft in terms of what they were going for in the lanes. It worked out pretty well for them, though. This game, though, are they going for, like, 4 Aghanims on their team? Because it feels like it.
Ultra greedy at the moment. And that was a fight pre-Helm of the Overlord, pre-Aghanims. They've got all of this now. And top tier 2 tower next to claim, so they themselves can start to control the outposts. You see the lead just continuing to grow and grow for the side of Radiant. I mean, a team with a stand-in going up against the first place seed, who, keep in mind, SMG 2-0'd Execration through the group stages, and they were convincing matches as well. 23 and 30-minute games, I believe, so SMG are not in a powerful position, and well, this might get even more disastrous for them as Execration are smoked as 4.
They got everything as well.
Roger.
He's going to be farming a little bit.
But I'll start on the Brewmaster, swap back again the Wukongs, but they're on the outskirts, so this ultimate will do nothing again for the Monkey King, as they can now transition for KP. The Vengeance got the Aghanims completed, but this will give them no opportunity. They have found mid one! Oh, they caught him out of the trees! No! Mid one's down, KP's illusion's gonna fall as well, and a 3-0 as they neutralize all the components.
BDZ playing almost a perfect game again. You know, the amount of farm that this man's been able to obtain. Just setting up for team fight after team fight after team fight. Perfect chain lockdown coming through. It's hard to find a fault right now with how Execration are looking to take these team fights.
Bob's having another cracking performance as well. 9, 1, and 7. You know, we thought his Lina was exceptional. Look at his Void Spirit in this second game, and they're setting up for another pickoff. They got that huge creep wave coming through.
He's not standing in the creep wave at least.
Now he is. See how much damage is going to be enough after the Flame Guard ticks in. Wow.
That's plenty.
To amount
My oh my, look at the combo rack up there for BDZ.
Yeah, 881 damage done there with that combination. Just enough. He had the Ogre Axe in his backpack instead of the bottle. That was the issue. That 200 HP.
Zara, oh my, they have Solar Crest now. It's only level 1 blood loss, but
It's still really good value.
Yeah.
Like 30 attack speed for 1 point.
movement speed 2 for Tino. So this is gonna be a difficult task to mount the defense. We see just the control is lacking. SMG have really been getting no value out of the Monkey Wukongs. Once again, they're making a start on Moon. A preemptive use of the swap, just making sure there's no opportunity to burst through the Ember Spirit. They've cycled up BDZ as well, so this might give them the opportunity, but look at how Tino's positioning
Ara's
himself
still alive.
very far on the front line. They'll try and tip with the first life. They'll have enough timing left of the Wukongs as well for the second round here. Do they have to burst to go through Tino, however? He's falling exceptionally low and they'll bring him down, but what's the consequence? As SMG, they've already lost 2. They're going to look to kite the fight and go back in afterwards, so they'll deal with the illusion. The shapeshift has expired. Maybe this is the fight that SMG been waiting for. So look to jump on mid one, playing around with the mischief. The Fisher gives him no opportunity to stack up the Jingu once again. They started the fight to deal with BDZ, but still he's coming in so clutch, knocking off mid one. It's still going to cost him his life though. As Moon not having to worry about a lot of the stuns with the Ogre and Gyro down. KP back involved as well. It's like Bob. No, actually, ultimate charges. 5 seconds until they're back up. Let's see if they've got the damage. Bob, pretty survivable. Kyron Sun swap back to simulate into the ultimate now available. I don't think he's going to get enough distance. Does he actually just kill the Brew before he escapes? Or is he fast enough? Moon's out of mana. Oh, okay, they get the Cinderbrew proc still. Another dissimulate. He gets a kill. Bob's out. No way. No way. Bob, look at the backstab. Tino,
they're coming.
Back alive. They're on top of Moon.
You're out of
Target locked on as Tino hunting down, but all of a sudden, mid one's going to look to rejoin the fray. They'll jump in forward, but all of a sudden, mid one is going to be cautious. A BKB pop looking to stand his ground, and man fighting Tino gets evaporated. They'll turn to RR, but it could just be the BD. So once again, they're going to be cautious. He'll drop it on 3. A Fissure as well. Is the damage enough? Combined with the Ogre, it might just be another showing from BDZ, and the combo this time will rack up.
Oh, this man, he's playing the perfect Earthshaker game. All right, BDZ, if you pick the Earthshaker, you're all right in my books. You're not one of these do-nothing Earthshaker players. He is making so many plays on this map right now, and they've just got the confidence with all of their abilities, right? Tino even surviving longer than he probably should have, just being able to turn around with the Aghanim Scepter, pops the Satanic, and allows that group up to happen.
Oh, they're going to try and mount a defense here on SMG. They might just kill the Brew before it gets the ultimate off. Nice swap on KP. Meanwhile, Moon is trying to split the fight in 2. Jump to the backline on RR. But it doesn't have the extra follow-up at the moment, or the items to kill the support. They'll look to try and target down Luciano, but Bob instantly trying to help out his position. 3, the stand-in, not enough to keep his life, but still they'll trade. Venge will fall, but KP, he doesn't mind. He can play around with the Aghanim's illusions. They're also TPing in Tino. Maybe him hand in hand. Oh, Tino's going to be cautious now. Satanic Ward's freshly completed. Not an easy target to kill off by any means.
He's just going to block him off with the use of the Fisher. BDZ protecting his mate from the safety of the low ground. That was a pretty significant kill, though. Afu able to clean up Bob, which was the 9-kill streak. Yeah, the 9-kill streak. He got $750.
I'm like, hang on a second. I see an ET having axe. I'm like, wait, this isn't KP playing it. What's going on?
They will have, if things work out for SMG, they will have 4 Ags by the end of this game. Probably 5, honestly, if it gets to the super late stage. They're probably the most Ags-loving team I've ever seen in my time casting Dota.
You got a lot of heroes who can utilize these Aghanim Scepters, but It's only 9,000 gold. They've taken the melee racks mid. They do still have big ultimates. Do we feel like they have an avenue back in or an execration, like the momentum is all on their side currently?
I mean, the Ags have to be the avenue back in, right? I feel like it's not just that. I feel like you need Afu to get to level 15 as well. If they're able to do that, I mean, they're going for another team fight again, realizing that I was about to say that they've got a few of these key ultimates off cooldown, but actually SMG, they're the ones making the aggressive move, even though there's no primal split.
Well, they'll try and start the fight on the Ogre once again. Actually, they're able to jump. KP, what a swap. Nonetheless, the Echo Stomp combining them all together, which would give an opportunity for SMG to answer. They're on top of Tino. The magic immunity from Afu will force back the Gyrocopter. They've caught out the secondary support as well. So there's one avenue back in. Get a pick off on 2 supports. And now further your progression into the Aghanims.
Get some that valuable levels as well. He's almost got a full level from that team fight. So Afu, he's going to continue to look to farm up. But they're just roaming together as a team, not spending too much time in the jungle camps. Not sure if that's the best option. Although, again, this minus armor lineup, they know that Roche is, well, probably has the potential to be up. And it is. Mid one's got to get there fast, though. He's got the Desolator. Such a big component of any kind of fights like this.
Yeah, I don't think they can take it now. Not with BDZ up in 10. What is he? Has he got Ag Shard? Oh, he's got Ag Shard and full stuff. My god, BDZ, relax.
Oof, and that's a huge item actually coming through for Tino. Doesn't actually keep the Paladin Shard. Paladin Sword, sorry. I feel like that's definitely the value pickup for you when you've got the Satanic. Went the Titan Sliver instead. Okay, don't hate that either.
How close to these Ags are they? Rogi, he's got Philosopher's Stone to utilize soon. It's about 500 gold towards the point booster. Mid one, very close to his Ags as well. So they feel like they have to play top though because Radiant can take Roche relatively fast.
There's also the bonus that if you win the team fight, of course, you can just go straight into Roche. They haven't picked up all of their tier 3 neutral items either, so something that they could potentially look to do. You know, they've got good vision around the area. I feel like this is definitely the strategy for SMG. You know, they can just sit back, they can look to farm up their jungle a little bit, get this Ags, and just stay around this high ground vision that they've got.
Yeah, they have exceptional capability to fight in a choke point, and Radiant can't go into Roche if ET is still alive. I think this hero can just disrupt any objective being claimed. You've got great ways to scout as well with the Wave of Terror, so...
Ooh, and they know there's no cooldown now. Just showed inside the Roche pit, so they were kind of thinking that perhaps with this minus armor draft, that they were going for that sort of attempt on SMG. Smoke on smoke. Who's going to go first? Bob.
They're all standing on the high ground, swap back into the sides, found the strike as well. Was it going to be enough to burst him down? Bob is out to safety, but they're still going to be cautious to lose the Venge early. It's not going to matter. The Earth Splitter into the Wukongs. Tino's in trouble. The BKB freshly picked up will get him an opportunity to find the outskirts of the Wukongs. They're back to safety. And all of a sudden, SMG, they committed heavily for that fight. A lot of ultimates committed. Down to the southern side, though, the Ember's in trouble. The first stun is out, Rogi. Second use of the split, but once again, the choke point, Tino, he's separated from the team. They'll lose the Gyrocopter. Luciano has also expended the shapeshift. So SMG somehow finding another way back into this game. As 4 are down from Execration, they might make to look at a 5th as well as mid one. He's continuing to hunt. The unrelentless pressure. They'll catch up, Bob, but the mobility from the rest of the team is slightly lacking. What a fight, though, nonetheless.
Afu, I mean, they've just picked up a bunch of huge talents right now for SMG. The attack speed, the Spirit Hero attack. He's getting close to that level 20 as well with the cleave. And with how clumped up they are, I mean, Moon was the MVP of that team fight for mine. Yes, he got caught out by the Fisher there, but just the presence of mind not to go all out on the retreat. If he didn't turn around and slide a fist, BDZ would have been able to get off that Blink Echo Slam, and that team fight is completely different.
See what the Wukongs can do, though. And when you've got ways to lock him in, it's a lot of damage on Tino early. It just created an immense amount of chaos as well.
Ooh, that's actually good as well. Also, another way to now disrupt the Blink Echo coming through. They've given over the Ag Shard to Moon, so a little bit of damage over time from those Fire Remnants.
4 Aghanims. Moon's going for his, sir. Yeah, you were saying 5 Ags? Here we go. KP's also picked up his own Aghanim Shard. Okay. So you got the Wave of Terror, stealing 20% of enemies' base damage and armor. Make it a lot more difficult for KP to get brought down. We now have a even ball game in regards to net worth. Die, however, with the Aegis advantage. And
it feels like he wants to finish up the 4 stuff, right? Makes total sense. I want to see him go into the the Fire Shield afterwards because, you know, not only can you multicast it and make sure that you know, you've got multiple layers of protection for the fight.
Another smoke
you just
on
need
smoke.
to make sure you're timing it around around mid one, looking to use those Jingu Mastery stacks.
Radiant, all their smokes pop up the Earthshaker. They're actually going to swap back Tino into an early use of the BKB. They're targeting down Venge once again, but he's got the illusion to play with. They might still bring it down fast enough here. They're actually locked onto mid one. Boundless still early, giving him the opportunity to man fight, but Bob's going to swing on forward and bring him down with ease. Round 2 coming up shortly, but Arfu will give an opportunity for mid one to get the fresh respawn and not be under pressure. As Execration, they've retreated safely, but they're going to be cautious. They're going back outside the base. The Wukong's only blocking one, as are now on the outskirts, but it looks like Moon should be able to do the dirty work and he'll claim the kill.
None may stop me.
Still though, 1-for-1 trade, you got rid of the Aegis. I think you're very happy with that on Execration, and you also were able to retain the Echo Slam, not needing to use it just yet. And if BDZ is able to get here for the creep wave, it'll even be level 18, so level 3 Echo now available for him. Just want to go back in, even without that shapeshift, they're feeling pretty confident, considering the Wukong's was used.
How close to... we're very far away from 25's. Monkey, the highest at the moment. He's
We are close to the 5th Ags for SMG, only 150 gold away.
That is huge Aghanims on Moon. It's just going to make it that much easier to be disruptive and cause chaos. That's his job. Find BDZ, disrupt the Earthshaker. Do not enable him to win the game for Execration.
Yeah, and like, honestly, like, the speed is fantastic, the cast range is great. It's the increased max charges, because especially now that you've got the Fire Remnant Ag Shard as well, it just means that you can look to expend that, you know, a couple of extra remnants for that little bit of extra burst damage, because you know that you're going to get one of them refreshed if you get the kill in that region. So I think it's one of the best Scepter Shard synergies in the entire game, and I'm sure Moon's going to get full use out of it.
I mean, we've had pretty much a full reset in regards of the items in the game, considering they lost the Aegis advantage that SMG had, but Execration still feel like they're an opportunity to make a smoke. They've run into KP, Roger as well. They're very split away for the team. BDZ drops an early Echo Slam. The emphasis they want to put on to get rid of 2 heroes, instantly assassinating them, and they'll also find KP's illusion, but you see instantly Dire. They just want to shove out these lanes.
One getting it straight down there. Even having picked up the Eye of Skadi, of course, great to be able to counter out the Gyrocopter a little bit. So, let's see what he's able to have done with... I mean, again, this is such a mid-1 play, right? 2 heroes on your side dead. Just keeping the lane pushed in, because you know that there's a few ways that they can kill you, but you've got Arfu backing you up. Look at Arfu's queued item.
Swift Blink, was it? Yeah, he's still got it. They're making an attempt on
Bob. Roberto.
They've got Boundless Strike. Is the control perfect? Roberto just out. Ooh, crafty attempts.
Up the Wukongs.
To restore
They're sieging top now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You gotta get back there, Arfu.
Dire's structures are fortified.
They don't have everyone on Execration at the moment. Once again, looking to start on Tino. He gets ample time to pop the BKB. Needs to do Satanic at the last second. So again, no control through the Wukong at the moment. But Tino is wasting the BKB duration. A lot of key components to his items. They're going to TP in the backline as well. Rogi looking to block off the retreat. It was Cyclone Luciano, but the rest of the team, they've TP'd out. So what more can they catch? It will be BDZ. They'll also catch Luciano too, so very nice heads up TP location from Roji. Will just catch them with their pants down.
Well, that's a good reason to hold the Wukongs, I suppose. I don't think that high ground defense happens if you don't have that Monkey King ult at your disposal. So another little key victory coming out for SMG. You know, they've been able to bring the net worth back. I believe it was as high as 9k, all the way down to 1 or 2k now for Execration. And the win probability alongside it, sitting at 51 to 49%. Man, these games, they're just so close once you reach the upper bracket and the teams are just neck and neck across the board.
Well, with how close we have this game at the moment, is there a side you'd be more favoring as this game heads to the later stages?
Just because I feel like Afu in particular is going to turn into this fourth core, I'm probably going to say SMG.
You feel like their scaling potential?
There, honestly. Yeah. The scaling potential is just nuts. He's holding onto the Quicksilver Amulet, moving fast as hell. And he's going into the Swift Blink. I think if it's something as
He'll be able to find the brew. KP, nice swap back. All of Dire looking to converge in the vicinity. Roji's going to charge up, but very early use of the ultimate on the backline again. They caught out BDZ. That's a key component to be able to bring down, but it will instantly look to buy back. They're completely split though. No one's grouping up. Tino trying to deal with the Brewlings once again. Luciana causing chaos as well. Radiant, they've got an exceptional ward on the higher gun, but they're in trouble without the damage from Tino. That's not the fight you're looking for. An incredible play from Roji, but they're in trouble with Moon on top of the backline. They'll bring down the Ember. What more can they get though? Swap back inside the ring. Tino, BKB pops, Titanic still ready as well. Tino's going to look to stand his ground in man fight, playing around with the flat connect, but it's not enough. Mid one will win the man fight. This SMG take 4 and they've got no buyback.
You need to be like a shark, they say, and I mean, it goes over to mid one. He did 9,300 damage in that team fight. Moon just barely getting the amount for the buyback. Nearly able to swap in Bob. That would have been a complete disaster. GG being called, of course, if that was to happen, but they're still in a really confident place right now.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Oh, they've got T2 standing mid. Nothing bot though. Mid one can push relatively well with the army. This is...
But you don't need it, right? You just need the creeps inside the base. You don't care about the creeps in the bot lane being there. That's all that's needed for the backdoor protection. They're even going to test if there are buybacks available by going for the tier 4s. And again, there's Desolator, it's available.
Okay, has to pop the BKB.
He has to do this. He has to make space. He's the only one with buyback right now. Just playing around his cooldowns a little bit. Resonant Pulse and the Astral Step Charge up in 3 seconds. So the fact that they've been able to get through this with no buybacks and only lose 1 lane of racks, essentially bringing it back to an even game state, is a big win for Execration.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
What has been going wrong for Execration through these past couple of fights?
It feels like they get targets so low, but they just don't finish their food because SMG, they've been really good at splitting up these team fights as much as possible. You did have the vision actually there, so you got maximum value out of the flak cannon, but even then, like, it feels like they're putting so much onto Tino, and only now has he just finished up the Eye of Skadi, which is why he didn't have the buyback. So it just feels like the damage is a little lacking, which is why I was kind of favoring SMG a little bit more with Elder Titan, you know, nearly level 20 now. He's got a crap ton of farm and able to dish it out. I mean, you compare that to the likes of an Earthshaker, right? Unless you get off that Echo Slam.
Hang on, mid one's got to be cautious in his position. KP.
Again, though, with the save.
Wow, he's always there. What a position. Just hiding the wings, making sure that there's not the opportunity to bring him down. He's got 15-second cooldown as well with the swap, so it's always going to be at the ready.
That's a nice little bonus, though, being able to pick up the telescope on the Ogre Magi. So, going to buff up essentially everyone on the team outside of the Lycan. And they're looking to convert this into a Roche. It's an Axe blessing when they've all got Axe.
I mean, I guess mid one can sell and have gold for another item. Radiant can't come out, though. Like, top was shoved in, mid shoved in. They've got to go past 3 wards to get there, and they are way too late. Are they still going to look to jump around the mid lane? They're coming out for this.
look at all the vision that they're committing onto the top side of the map as well. So they know, you know, if they're not showing up top, where the hell are they going to be? It's on the right side. So they're just making sure to stick around their high ground vision. Really smart play coming through from SMG here.
Are we actually... I think we're rapier territory. I believe Tino needs this.
Yeah, me too. I mean, he's been going into the Daedalus for the longest amount of time. It makes sense because you've already got the Chrysalis component, but yeah, I mean, it needs to be the perfect synergy. BDZ, it's all on you.
Well, mid one, yeah, he did sell the Ag, so he's got a lot of gold in the bank. To look to jump, bring down the first life. Another great swap, Bob. He's committed pretty heavily to the backline here. He's got no more ultimate charges, but an early use of the primal split. Roger still has multiple charges for himself as well in the team fight, but Luciano's in trouble. Shapeshifts out, but the Fissure's gonna block him in still. The consistent lockdown, mid one will be able to deal with the Lycan, who doesn't have a buyback. Numbers advantage now in the favor of SMG. They look to go back, dealing with the barracks here. Objective-based gaming, cycling up Tino as well, giving them ample time to do the dirty work on the objectives and take the real estate.
Divide and conquer is the name of the game. Even just locking down the supports inside the base was Afu. Another one by Rogi, just tossing him up in the air, making sure that there's no way
that's
that
all the split charges. Swap back once again. KP is going to get brought down. They won't be able to deal with Avenger Illusion, but Tino looking to go ham now. He doesn't have to worry about the primal split, which will give a beautiful opportunity for the Gyrocopter just to rip them apart, but he's still got to be cautious here because mid one has got the outskirts completely controlled thanks to the Wukongs. Now Gyro's got a buyback. I don't know if this is enough though. His team's in shambles with no one left standing here with the Gyrocopter. It's only Bob. A buyback on Ogre, another swap into the Boundless.
No
he doesn't
BKB.
have Satanic, he doesn't have BKB. A force to safety, but SMG, they'll force a game 3 here for our first series of the night.
Captured in the flame.
Another banger of a game coming through. And again, it was way too much for one person to do. And Tino, as good as he's been playing right now for Execration, it was just the greed eventually paid off for SMG. You know, they went greedy as hell, and they were somehow still able to come out on top in a few of those key early game team fights. So, well, they're looking to even it up 1-1. I was a little bit worried that SMG would do, I don't want to say classic SMG things, but we've seen it in a few tournaments already. You know, they have an amazing group stage, and then they just bomb out of the upper bracket and have some trouble in the lower bracket. But at least now they bring it to a game 3, and I'm excited to see how that decider goes.
Yeah, it's just going to be exciting to see how this series will continue to develop. It feels like the respect that these teams have been given, you know, Lycan's been hot priority. We've seen the Earthshaker both games from Execration. Monkey King has been a huge priority as well. Bandy in the first game, picked up in the second game, and mid one had an incredible performance. And, you know, all of, in the end, how SMG were able to play. I mean, Moon as well did his job. We really felt like Execration, the fights they were winning, felt like BDZ was just the X factor, and we saw him have no effect in the last 15 minutes of the game, to be honest. I mean, Moon did his 100% his job. Aghanim's completed, and even Arfu as well, to say the least. When he got his Ag, he was just running at the backline. It didn't matter if he was going to sacrifice his lives. All he had to do was create as much chaos as possible, make sure that they're scrambling on Execration. You can't get this beautiful combo to turn it back around. We didn't see the Earthshaker through the remaining stage of this second game. And I feel like that was a big reason why they weren't able to take it.
I think the key difference was SMG, everyone played their role to perfection, right? Like you mentioned, Arfu just then put himself on the back line. You've got the protection of your Aghanim Scepter, so you've got that spell immunity. You can just be whacking away, you know, you're never going to get interrupted by a Fissure. The Echo Slam's not going to go off. Rogi as well, looking to prioritize tossing up the Gyrocopter into the air consistently, fight after fight. KP, how many times did we see a great swap there to be able to save mid one? And it just enabled Moon, again, to create the chaos and mid one to do the big damage in these team fights. And it just felt like it was a little bit more difficult to do that. You mentioned BDZ, obviously having a rough time in the latter stages of that game. I wonder, do you have to go away from the Lycan pick? Because Luciano did less damage than the Earthshaker and the Ogre Magi. And, you know, it's not even made up by the building damage that you did in return, right? So it did enable them to get the tier 3 tower and the racks mid, but it didn't result in too much beyond that. I feel like these BKBs are coming out way too late. I feel like it needs to be prioritized before the likes of the AC so that you can have the early game impact that you need to be able to turn the tide further in your way.
Yeah, there's definitely the argument if we're going to see the Lycan in the next game, because you could say KP, he didn't have as much impact. It really felt like it was legitimately just the Wolves in game one. That with the Inkswell was a lot of what we were seeing the Lycan have your prowess on and his kind of skill set. And in this second game, it was, Luciano was having a decent stage for the early time, but this hero does not go well into the late game at all. And it really was shown here. You can't man fight into the Monkey King. You lay down Wukongs, you have to run around, but that's wasting some of the time in your ultimate. Maybe it's in a fight where you even don't have that avenue, so you just have to brute force in, and you're picking the matchup into the Monkey. It's not going to be favorable, but nonetheless, we've got a cracker of a series. We're going the distance. Game 3, we'll find out who's going to move on and who will be knocked down to the lower bracket. Time will tell. After the break, we'll find out with our Game 3 coming up shortly.